Mrs. Swanson here with today's lesson on dividing fractions. Dividing fractions is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. The word reciprocal might be new to you, so let's talk about that definition before we get started. The definition is what to multiply by to get 1. So for example, if you have the number 3/4, I want an answer of 1 here. My reciprocal would be 4/3. If I multiply across, 4 times 3 is 12. And again, 4 times 3 is 12. So 12/12 is equal to 1. If you notice, our reciprocal here is our original number just flipped around. So for our purposes in this video, we're going to say flip the fraction instead of using that reciprocal word. It means the same thing, just an easier way to describe it. Now let's talk about the steps. We have the problem here, 1/2 divided by 2/5. Step number 1. We're going to keep the first fraction the same. So our 1/2 here, nothing's going to change about that. Step 2. We're going to flip the sign. So instead of dividing, we're going to flip the sign and make it multiplying. Step 3. Another flip, we're going to flip our second fraction, or find the reciprocal. So instead of 2/5, I'm going to put the 5 on the top and the 2 on the bottom, flipping that around. Now we follow our rules for multiplying fractions, where we just multiply across. So we take 1 times 5 to get 5, and 2 times 2 to get 4. Now we're going to want to simplify this by changing this to a mixed number. 5 goes into 4 one time with 1 left over and a final answer of 1 1/4. Try these examples on your own, pause the video, and press play when you're ready to check your answers. I'm going to put a KFF at the top here to remind me of my steps. Keep, flip, flip. So when I'm solving my problem, I keep the 2/3, flip, divide to multiply, and then flip my fraction around to 8/6. Now I just multiply across to get 16/18. And we're going to simplify that down by dividing top and bottom by 2 to get 8/9 as a final answer. If you got 16/18 as your answer, you still did the problem correctly. Just want to make sure we simplify it down to its lowest reduced fraction. Okay, looking at example 2, I'm going to keep my first fraction, flip my sign, and flip my fraction. When we multiply straight across, we get 5/8, and there's no simplifying to be done there, so that will be our final answer. Before you can keep flip, flip, you have to change any mixed numbers to improper fractions. This was the same rule that we had for multiplying. So first I'm going to look at my mixed number and change it to improper by multiplying denominator times the whole number, then adding my numerator. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, denominator stays the same. So now I have 10/3 divided by 3/5. Now I can go to my KFF steps. Keep the first fraction, flip the sign to multiply, and flip my fraction around to get 5/3. Now when I multiply across, I get 50/9. Changing my answer back to a mixed number, 50 goes into 9, 5 times with 5 left over. Here's our final answer. If you're struggling with going from mixed to improper or improper to mixed, there's a video for that, so make sure you check that out for some review. Let's go over our key points. Number 1, change any mixed numbers to improper first before doing any dividing. Second step, we keep our first fraction the same. Next, we flip our sign from dividing to multiplying. Then we flip our fraction or find the reciprocal of our fraction. And our last step is to multiply across, and don't forget to simplify. That's all for this lesson. Thanks for studying with Swanson.